Hi, welcome back to the Gemara in Masechet Ta'anit. I'm starting from the second Tanu Rabbanan on Daf Vav Amud Aleph. Tanu Rabbanan, Yoreh Mar Cheshvan Umalkosh B'Nisan. This idea that we've seen before, Yoreh happens in Mar Cheshvan and Malkosh happens in Nisan. Ata Omer Yoreh B'Mar Cheshvan, Oeino Ela B'Chodesh Kislev. Wait, you think that Yoreh is in Mar Cheshvan, but could it really be that it happens in the month of Kislev? Talmud Lomar, therefore we learn, Be'ito, Yoreh Malkosh. The pasuk says, Be'ito Yoreh Malkosh, that these two rains happen in their proper time. Ma Malkosh Be'ito, Af Yoreh Be'ito. So just as Malkosh happens, Be'ito in its proper time, so too Yoreh also happens in its proper time. And we know that after Nisan, rain is bad. Each of these has to happen in their proper time. Tanya Irach, another braita was taught. Yoreh B'Mar Cheshvan Umalkosh B'Nisan. Same idea. Divrei Rabbi Meir. This is the opinion of Rabbi Meir. The Chachamim Omrim, Yoreh B'Kislev. Chachamim say that Yoreh actually happens in the month of Kislev. Man Chachamim. Who are these Chachamim? Amar Rav Chisda, Rabbi Yosehi. This is the opinion of Rabbi Yosei. Titania, as we learned in a Braita. So just going in to make sure that you can see where the Braitas are. That was the Braita, and then the Gemara speaking. Rav Chisda is the one who says that it's Rabbi Yosei. Titania, Ezohi Raviyah Rishona. What counts as the first rainy season? Right, we've talked about this this idea that Raviyah is like a set of rains or like a mini rainy season. So when is that first rainy stretch? Habechira. So the Raviyah Rishona is whichever one comes first. Bishloshah B'Mar Cheshvan. Habechira b'Shloshah B'Mar Cheshvan. So the earliest it could be is the 3rd of Mar Cheshvan. Beinonit b'Shiva, and then like a middle possible date is the 7th. B'Shiva Bo, the 7th of Mar Cheshvan. Afela b'Shiva Asar Bo, and then a really late first rainy season would start on the 17th of that month. Divrei Rabbi Meir. Those are the words of Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Yehuda Omer b'Shiva u'v'Yud Zayin u'v'Esrim b'Shlosha. The 3 dates of the early beginning of the rainy season, the middle, and the late beginning would be the 7th, the 17th, and the 23rd. That's Rabbi Yehuda's position. Rabbi Yosei Omer, B'Yud Zayin, Uve'esrim v'Shlosha, Uve'Rosh Chodesh Kislev. So those are the 3 dates, right? The 17th, the 23rd of Mar Cheshvan, or Rosh Chodesh Kislev. Those would be the possible dates that he has, that according to him could be when this first rainy season starts. V'chen haya Rabbi Yossi Omer, and similarly Rabbi Yossi would say, Ein hayichidim mitzanin ad sheyagia Rosh Chodesh Kislev. The singular ones do not fast until Rosh Chodesh Kislev arrives. It seems that there were people whose specific job it was to pray for rain and to worry about there being rain. And if things got bad enough, they would fast. But they wouldn't fast unless it was already Rosh Chodesh Kislev and there wasn't rain yet. So this teaches us that even Rosh Chodesh Kislev is it's late, but it's an okay date for starting that first rainy stretch. Amar Rav Chisda, halacha Rabbi Yosei. So Rav Chisda says the halacha is like Rabbi Yosei, which is a slightly strange thing to say because he just gave dates. He didn't exactly give a halachic pronouncement, but that's what Rav Chisda says. Ameimar matnei lahaz Rav Chisda b'halishna. Ameimar teaches that of Rav Chisda in the following language, meaning he has a slightly different version of the tradition. B'Shloshah B'Mar Cheshvan shalina tekshemim. On the 3rd of Cheshvan, we ask for rain. Rabban Gamliel Omer, a different opinion, b'Shiva Bo. We wait till the 7th of Mar Cheshvan. Amar Rav Chisda, halacha k'Rabban Gamliel. And Rav Chisda said the halacha is like Rabban Gamliel, meaning when the discussion is about when we should start praying. So in that context, we can say that the halacha is like Rabban Gamliel. That's a halachic discussion. Kiman azla hadatanya Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. Kiman azla hadatanya. According to whom does this Breita go? Meaning, whose position is reflected in the following Breita? There's a colon here, but it's going to be a question mark because we're asking about this Breita. Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, Geshamim shi'ardu shiva yamim zeh achar zeh, אתה מונה בהן רביעה ראשונה, ושנייה, ושלישית. So if rain falls 7 days one after the other, right? It falls 7 days in a row. You can count this as being the first and second revia, or the second and third revia. In other words, you can count 7 days of rain counts as 2 of these mini rainy seasons. Kiman, whose opinion is reflected in this statement? Rabbi Yossi, like the opinion of Rabbi Yossi, because Rabbi Yossi is the one who had 7 days as the interval between rainy seasons in the above statement. So clearly, if you have something that goes, starts and then 7 days later there's still more rain, so that's 2 rainy seasons according to Rabbi Yossi. Amar Rav Chisda. Rav Chisda says halacha Rabbi Yossi. And then we have again Rav Chisda saying that the halacha is like Rabbi Yossi. Bishlam Revia Rishona, it makes sense that we need to know when the first Revia, the first rainy season is. We need to know when that starts. Lishol, so that we know when we should start asking for rain. Shlishit, lihitanot. And we need to know when the third rainy season is supposed to start, because if it hasn't started by then, we need to fast. However, shni'ah lamai. But why do we need to know about the second rainy season? So I'm just going to go back and do this. Why does it matter when the second rainy season starts? We haven't thought of sort of a practical application for that piece of knowledge yet. Amar Rabbi Zera l'nedarim. So Rabbi Zera says the answer to this question is we need it for vows. We need to know about it for people who make vows. Ditznan, we're going to have this explained to us, as we learned in the Mishnah. Hanoder ad hageshamim, mishiyardu geshamim ad shetered revia shniya. If someone makes a neder and says that this neder is, going to apply, not going to do whatever it is until the rains. So that means until the second revia. So that's how long the vow is in effect. So that's why we need to know for the case of people who make nedarim in that way. Rav Zvid Amar, Rav Zvid says l'zeitim. No, the practical ramification is for olives. Titznan, as we learned in the Mishnah. Oh, sorry, we're going to need to put this in red because these are Mishnayot. From what point, at what time, is anybody allowed to go out and take leket shicha and peah, the different kinds of ways that poor people are allowed to go and gather crops that were forgotten in the field? But at a certain point, we say, you know what, the poor people are basically done, and now anyone who wants to can come and do it. When is that point? Mishielchu hanishumot. From the time when the super poor people are done, meaning there's eventually you get to the poorest of the poor gathering in the field, and when they're done, anyone can go. Beperet uva olalot mishielchu aniyim. When it comes to, so that's for crops in general, that's for grain harvest. When it comes to grapes, when it comes to the fruits of the vine, when does it happen? Mishielchu aniyim bekerem. Mishielchu aniyim bekerem ve'avo. From the time when the poor people leave the vineyard and then come back again, meaning once the poor people have passed through the vineyard twice, that's when you know it's okay for any person to go out and do leket shicha and peah there. B'zeitim, what about with olives? When can any person go do leket shicha and peah with olives? Mishetered revia shniya, from the time of the second rains. So for that case, it's important to know when the revia shniya is. So we'll put this all in red because this is a Mishnah. My nishumot. Now the Gemara just takes a little break to ask about this word nishumot, which seems to mean sort of very poor people, but what is that word? Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Sabe da azla tigra. They are old people who walk with a cane. So the implication seems to be they move very, very slowly. So for sure, like they would have noticed anything that's growing in the field that they might want, they would have noticed by now. So if they passed over it, then we're done and it's free for anyone to take. Reish Lakish Amar Lakute Batar Lakute. And Reish Lakish says these are the last round of collectors. They're the people who collect who come after the other people who collected. So those are the two answers for what Nishumot means. Rav Papa Amar, Kedei lahalech b'shvilei harashut. Rav Papa gives another answer to the question of why we need to know when the Revi'ah Shniya is. It's so that you know when you're allowed to go on the optional paths. We're going to explain that to Amar Mar. The master said, "Mehalchim kol adam b'shvilei harashut ad shetered Revi'ah Shniya," because any person can walk on these optional paths, which what this is paths that go through people's fields. So they're not like the main road. But sort of b'derech klal in general, it's okay to walk on these roads, like these sort of paths through people's fields, until the second rain comes down. At that point, it'd be like too muddy. It would be dangerous for the field. It would like hurt the crops if you walk through those paths. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak Amar. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak says, "L'va'er peirot shvi'it." We need to know when the Revi'ah Shniya is because we need to know when you have to get rid of, finish, destroy all the fruits of Shvi'it, all the fruits of the Shemitah year. Ditznan, ad matai nehenin v'sorfin b'teven u'v'kash shel Shvi'it. For how long can you enjoy and get benefit from the straw and hay of the seventh year? Ad shetered Revi'ah Shniya, until the end of the second rainfall, or until the beginning of the second rainfall, until the second rainfall falls. In brief, this is Rashi and Tosfot disagree about how to interpret this. It's either during the seventh year, that we're talking about Perot Shvi'it during the seventh year, or more likely it's the things that are left over from that year, from the Shemitah year, going into the next year. Anyway, it can only be consumed in the house for a certain amount of time, as we're about to explain. My time, what's the reason? Dichtiv, that's what we say about the produce that grows in the Shemitah year, that it should be for the animals that are on your land. As long as whatever this crop is still growing in your field, and the animals that are walking around, just wandering the fields can eat it, you can feed it to the animals that are in your house or in your barns. But once it's no longer available in the wild, you can't eat it in your home anymore. You can't feed it to your animals in the barn anymore. So that might be another reason why we need to know when the second rainfall begins. Okay, we'll stop there.